All right, folks, take a look at this. Chapman University professor Sally Rubin says she does not allow her daughter to watch films with white boys as lead characters. The professor adding,
yeah, she can watch films about her daughter. She can watch films about girls and people of color, but white boys or white men or shows where girls are gossiping about boys or being mean to each other, she'll just say, I had to shut it off because I knew you wouldn't support it. Wow. For more now, let's bring in former New York City Commissioner in the Giuliani and Bloomberg administrations, Brian Anderson, and Project 21 member, publicist, and political activist, Whitley Yates. Whitley, I'm going to start with you. I mean, it seems to me, even with girls being mean to each other, I just go to that mean girls mentality. Listen, I think you learn a lot by watching on TV what to deal with in real life. And that seems like unnecessary protection or smothering or blinders.
Yes, I would agree. I think she's crippling her child from what they're going to be able to experience and see. Can you imagine growing up and never seeing a white male lead and then going into the world and realizing that white men are all over the place, leading and dominating an industry? She's going to be so shell-shocked. I feel so bad. This is the woke being a joke consistently. And these are the future leaders that we're going to have in this country. And I'm really getting nervous about the way that we're raising our children and how that is going to have implications on our nation in the future.
yeah, and Ryan, there are some white men who are good men. I don't know any myself, but I've been told about it.
You think?
I've read about them somewhere. There was John Wayne. I don't mean to, but I mean, just keeping your. It's like my daughters are in college now, and I tell them, think for yourself, but be exposed to anything and everything.
Well,
and to not expose your kids. Frankly, in this story, I don't know whether the woman is African American or white. Does it matter if you're telling your kids don't watch something with a white lead actor?
Precisely. And, you know, that's not teaching a child anything. You want the child to be able to ask you questions on things they observe. And if something that disturbs them, let them ask the question, you talk them through it. That's what parenting is. But I don't have to worry about what they think because I'm a white man and she's not letting her kid watch the show.
So frankly, she doesn't care what you think.
That's right. She doesn't care what I think. But, you know, vilifying white males now is suddenly a thing, and that's okay in certain.
You know, can you imagine, Whitley, somebody saying, I'm not going to let my kids watch anything with a black lead character? I mean, it seems like nowadays.
Or an Asian lead character.
Yeah, or Asian.
Or anything,
yeah, exactly.
Or even a trans lead character. All of those things. It's just.
But that never seems to be reversed.
Decide.
It's like nowadays you're allowed to say anything if it's derogatory towards someone who happens to be white. But if you ever applied the same measure to people of color, you would clearly be considered a racist.
Yes, very clearly you would be considered a racist. And this is that like woke feminist ideology. I've sat on panels about women in politics where they were so advocating to remove all men from roles within the political sphere. And I think that that is completely asinine. And I think when we look at the history of this country, we have to thank many of the white men in positions of power that have allowed us to get to where we are and open the door for minorities and other people to come in to change legislation and laws.
Are these
we're just looking at
these
those
white
images
lead
up there,
characters,
which
by the way?
yeah.
I don't know. By the way, before we go, a woke LA DA has ordered the prosecutors not charge illegal aliens because they might be deported.
Hang on a minute.
Criminals in the sanctuary city of LA who are illegally living in the U.S. will get lighter sentences than American citizens, and in some cases will not face criminal charges at all. So this is George Gascon that we're talking about. And I'm just kind of curious, a real New Yorker like yourself who worked with Giuliani, what do you think when you see something like this?
Clearly, the man is simply not doing his job. That's really what it comes down to, determining who should be prosecuted and why, and they shouldn't. And, you know, again, sometimes we just pray that they are the subjects of crimes committed against them by this element.
Well, we're not wishing crime on
No,
someone.
but you know,
you just want it to come home to where they realize the errors of their ways.
Yes, but how does that happen? Because they have been realizing that for quite a long time. So you think
to understand crime as a problem, you have to have crime on yourself?
That's usually the best way you understand it, honestly. I mean, I've been mugged, I've been robbed, I get it, and
Okay,
you know.
yeah. I had a guy try to rob me one time. And I was in L.A.
Yeah.
And I'm walking down the street. The guy comes out like he was somewhere, and he said, "Ain't your day, man. Give me your wallet." And I started like saying, I can't believe this. I'm just walking down, and I'm cussing a bit, but I'm saying, got this guy trying to stick me up. And I start walking, and the guy thought I was crazy.
So you convinced him you were crazy.
I did. I
That's a good
convinced him,
idea.
and he just walked off.
Well, not prosecuting them sends the wrong message. It emboldens them, and it happens to more people. And
Yeah.
that's a problem.
All right, we're out of time, but Whitley, we're going to get your thoughts on other topics on the flip side. So stick around, Whitley and Brian. Lots more to get to. And coming up, you'll never guess who just published a book teaching kids as young as 3 years old on how to transition.